the canvases that I work on are horizontal shape, so they are monoliths. It's a short trip from the idea of a monolith to the shape of the monolith, which is pretty much every canvas that I work on.
My weight. All I need's peace, this mind I can celebrate. All in all, there's something to give. All in all, there's something to give. All in all, there's something to do. All in all, there's something to do. All in all, there's something to live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. We're very happy to be here this evening to honor a very wonderful man, a man which we all love so very much. The man I'm speaking of?
Oh, baby.
Let's give a warm round of applause.
Dedicated to all the pretty girls, pretty girls, all the pretty girls in the world, and the ugly girls too. But to me, you're pretty anyway, baby.
I was in art programs since I was really young, since junior high school. From a young age, my mom is a classical singer, my dad was a painter. So it was a lot of art and a lot of music. I was really lucky that my parents did not force me to take piano lessons. I grew up with a lot of kids whose parents were very, very adamant about them going to music school. Or to do something in particular. If you are young and your parents are aggressively pushing you towards music or art or anything, business, law, it tends to make it harder for you to enjoy it. I think I had it easy in the sense that they didn't force me to do anything. It was just around. And so I think I enjoy it a lot more now as a professional than a lot of people do as professionals. So I was really lucky it was just around all the time. I start with a lot of color and a lot of imagery, and most of it is editing down from that. I'm going to start with a lot of mark making, building layers of imagery. So if I start with a lot of color, I may edit down to a lot more neutral or quieter colors. And if I start with a lot of mark making, a lot of dense imagery and mark making, I will likely edit that down too. I don't know what the painting's going to look like when it's finished, but I know how I want to get there. It's very easy to put too much meaning onto a painting by a title, and it is just as easy to make it untitled and have there be no connection to it. Most of the time, I try to find that middle ground where I'm not creating more drama than is there in the painting already. I think the painting should speak for itself. But it's fun coming up with titles, and I use a lot of references to books, movies, and fiction and poetry. Artists are always listening to music. That's the thing that's kind of on your mind all the time, because most people who are painting are listening to music and songs. I do know people who watch television, which is, I think, really unusual, but some do. I would imagine some painters need complete silence, but most painters are listening to music, so that's a very easy pool to draw from. The mood of the music can dramatically influence the direction that a painting will go day and a week. So it's very common for me to have the idea of music titles, bits and pieces from fiction or poetry in my mind while I'm working. Sometimes the titles can add a lot more poetry to painting in that particular day.
Abstract art, by and large, is formless. I can definitely say from my perspective, there's so much pressure for us to convey to people who don't know about art what we're doing. The gallerists and the people who are representing us want us to be able to talk about the work so that the client can have a connection to it. Sometimes it just sounds so outlandish. It sounds like complete nonsense. If it's forced, it seems very easy to detect that. And then other times, it really makes a lot of sense. There are people that focus on certain themes like geometric abstraction or abstraction that's body-oriented. Mine in particular does not lean one way or the other. I don't have a theme in mind generating these abstract images. If you show the work to 100 different people, you get 100 different ideas about what it is. Sometimes it's a beach or an ocean, architecture, body parts, interstellar space. It's great to hear what people have to say. I depend on people's interpretation of it.